Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about the Zoleo. I have mentioned this a few times on my channel before. It is a satellite text message communicator. These things are absolutely wonderful. It can be, even if you travel cross country a lot, it doesn't even have to be like out off-roading, overlanding, anything like that. If you're traveling cross country a lot for work or anything like that, this could definitely give you the peace of mind. And if it is for work, then it could potentially be a tax write-off also. So maybe check with your tax professional on that one. For us off-roaders, we get out in the backcountry a lot. Sometimes you're alone, sometimes you're in a group, whatever the case may be. And maybe you get stuck, maybe you get lost. As you can see from the thumbnail on the picture, maybe you just come out of your apartment and find out that it dropped almost a foot of snow or more overnight. So that picture is actually from a friend of mine up in Flagstaff that came out this morning and found out that her truck was basically buried in snow. And I said, hey, can I use that picture? I've got just the idea for today's video. So basically, as long as you can have a clear view of the sky, you can utilize this. It stays in my truck most of the time, even if I'm not out off-roading and stuff, because sometimes you are just down a road somewhere without any service. There's plenty of places around here that even on paved roads you lose service. Pretty simple. It's got a little power button on the top. Hold it down. Powers up fast. If I am out somewhere, off-roading or whatever, where I know I'm going to be off for the day, then I will leave this powered on. So it has a blinking light down here, green, showing you that the power is in fact on. That same light, as you're charging it, it will show you, so there's a little power symbol down there. There's also a little check mark one here, and over there is a little message. So all of these, and then the SOS. So all of these different LEDs light up and do things whenever something's going on with the unit. So this one down here just blinks whenever you have power. This one up here will blink when you have a new inbound message. This one up here will blink whenever you check in. And this one down here is blinking when you have the SOS function going. Speaking of the SOS, under this little cover here, so you can see it says SOS. There's a little cover here, it's just got a little ridge. So you pop that cover open, and underneath of there is a small button that says SOS on it. Now this cover is spring-loaded. So when you release it, it'll slam shut. If it gets caught on a tree branch or something like that, if you're out hiking, it'll pop open and shut right away. No big deal. You do have to hold the SOS button down in order to activate it. If I'm not mistaken, it is 3 seconds in order to send an SOS. And then if you think for whatever reason that was accidentally pressed, or maybe you jump the gun and things aren't quite as bad as you think that they are, you hold it for 5 seconds to cancel the SOS. There is an application that it ties to in your phone. However, you don't need the app. Alright, got inside and started editing the video, and for whatever reason the GoPro cut off a bunch of the video. So as I was saying, there is an application that attaches to it. You don't necessarily need the application in order to use it. There is a check-in button here, which is nice. You can utilize the check-in button. It basically, you hit the button, it just sends a message out to whoever your check-in contact is, and it just says, I'm okay, my location is, and gives your GPS coordinates. Pretty cool. So, as you're driving down the trail, it's been a few hours since you've checked in with everybody, you can just reach over, hit the button, and it sends them a message and kind of leaves them a little breadcrumb of where you're at on the trail. Handy in that aspect. You can also use the application to select any contact in your phone and go ahead and send them a text message, and you can text whatever you want. Anybody that has the application downloaded, you do not have to have the device in order to have the application downloaded. So if one of your contacts has the application downloaded, then you can send them a message of up to 1,047 characters. If they do not have the application downloaded, then it will allow you up to 160 characters per application, per message. So the one nice thing about the Zoleo that they started late last year is that the check-ins are free. It does not count towards your messages. So the way that the different messaging tiers work is that once you purchase the device, you pay a $20 activation fee. That basically covers the cost of the SIM card for the phone number that you use. Excuse me. And then from there on out, you pay a monthly subscription fee. So the monthly subscription fee is $25 for 25 messages, $35 for 250 messages, or $50 for unlimited messages. I personally just use the $35 one. 250 messages is plenty for me. I didn't want to go with the 25 because if I send somebody a message saying, hey, we made it to camp, everything's good, and they message back and say, hey, great to hear, how was the trail? Great, everything's good, getting ready to, settle in for the night, whatever, talk to you later. And they're like, okay, good night. And you're like, good night. That's like 6 or 7 messages, right? So 25 will be chewed up really fast in a month if you're going out all the time. We go out, in our little groups and stuff that we do, we go out at least once a month, usually 2 to 3 times a month, even if it's just small day trips. So I would go over the 25 messages pretty quickly. So I do the 250. I haven't gone over yet, and now having the check-ins as free definitely helps. I know there's a few companies out there that have a few different devices like this. I know Garmin has like the Spot, the InReach Mini, things like that. I chose the Zoleo because of the overall initial cost. The plan costs are about the same once you kind of get into it, but the overall cost, regular price on these is $199. I think the InReach Mini is like $300 and some change. I think the Spot is right there about the same. You can also catch these on sale for like $149 sometimes. They do have some military programs with some of the different websites out there that military, first responder, law enforcement type stuff that have availability to this. The other nice thing about this is that from your phone there is actually a whole like weather system in there, so it'll give you a 5-day forecast. You can check your battery level. The battery actually lasts really well, so leaving it on all day, I can get 4 or 5 days out of it. I would say if you're not going to have the ability to charge it and you're not going to be needing it, then I would probably turn it off at certain points throughout the day when you're not in any dangerous areas or you're not needing to check in or anything like that. That'll help conserve the battery. But as far as even when it's powered off like any other device, it's going to have a little bit of a battery draw. This one seems to lose roughly 5% a week. It's probably a little slower than that, but that's just kind of what I see. So this one stays in my truck pretty much at all times. So I just remember, if I'm going out on a trip and I'm going to be gone for the weekend or anything like that, I just pull it in the house. I charge it when I charge all my radios and everything else, make sure that everything's fresh for the coming trip. So if you do have any questions on this device, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'd be happy to answer anything that I can. I'm not super tech savvy on how it works. It works, says it's on the Iridium network, so anybody that knows what that is. I have never had any issues with it, other than one time I did go to check in and it would not provide the GPS location, but it did send the message saying like, I'm okay, my location is, but then it said no GPS data available. It's the only time it's ever happened. It's happened once in all the times I've used it. So I could have just been in a bad area with lots of tree cover down in a canyon, something of that nature. So highly recommend the Zoleo. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I'm also curious if anybody else out there has had issues with their GoPro. It seems like even with the settings turned on to, do the unlimited recording time, it'll only record for about 4 minutes before it starts and stops and starts a new one. Sometimes it's automatic, and like what happened earlier, it just loses everything. So definitely comment below if that's happened to you, and appreciate everybody watching. Stay tuned for the next one. We've got some great trips coming up. Going to go explore some trails that are different ways around other trails that are pretty popular to hopefully avoid some of the congestion that has now come around with people, getting out and hitting the trails and different side-by-sides and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll provide some alternate routes, and I'd be happy to share that with you guys when that trip happens. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.